Pavlov's The Hidden was something like nothing seen before in VR. It was amazing, and honestly, not only my favorite mode in Pavlov, but in all of VR, period. The Hidden was an asymmetrical, horror/tactical game mode where generally 8 or so agents, or soldiers, equipped with some decent guns and equipment, would set off to kill The Hidden, a player who is an invisible monster with many abilities. The soldiers had stuff like bandages to heal from an attack, adrenaline to give them a speed boost, and flashbangs that not only blinded the Hidden, but also forced it to give a loud roar of agony, alerting all players to its general location. The Hidden, on the other hand, had 2 blades on its arms, used for slashing, grenades to kill people who were clustered together or who were camping, and X-ray vision to see the health and whereabouts of all the enemy soldiers. The Hidden also had near invisibility to help it stay out of sight, and an amazing movement system that allows you to leap quite quickly and stick to walls at your leisure. Now, it wasn't perfect. In fact, there were a lot of little things that needed changing, but it could be overlooked because of how frankly amazing the game mode was. Now, Pavlov didn't invent the Hidden game mode by any means. The Hidden game mode originated as a Half-Life mod, and from there has been modded into plenty of games, such as Gmod, and even Team Fortress 2. In fact, the official Pavlov Hidden game mode wasn't even the first time the Hidden was in Pavlov. Before the Hidden was an official mode in Pavlov, it was a more janky, but equally as fun, modded game mode. The modded game mode was somewhat different from the official game mode. The Hidden had less stamina, only 1 knife, and the Hidden's grenades did a lot more damage. It also lacked some of the guns and all of the soldier equipment. It was nevertheless really fun, and when I heard it was going to become an official game mode, I was really worried, but was pleasantly surprised when it was actually really good. Still not perfect, mind you, plenty of small issues I wanted to see fixed, and I will get into that more later on in the video. One of the bad things about the launch of the official Hidden game mode is that once it was released, the creator of the old Hidden game logic, now a developer, broke the old game logic, making it unplayable. This isn't the first time he's done something like that. In fact, he did the exact same thing with the original TTT, which in my mind was far better than any of the modern versions. But this video isn't about TTT. Anyways, I really wished the original mode still worked. The old mode was still really fun and quite different, and really, I think they could have coexisted pretty well. Anyways, after mourning the original mod, I started to play the new Hidden game mode a fair bit, and honestly, it still had the thing that made the Hidden great. And do you know what it is that makes the Hidden great? It's the freedom of it all. While there is a timer, there are so many ways the Hidden can approach the situation. Some bide their time, lurking in the shadows, waiting until the perfect time. Some used hit and run tactics, jumping down next to a soldier or two, injuring one, and jumping away just as quickly, and repeating the process. There were others still who would simply just rush straight at the enemies. Some, like me, like to combine a bit of all 3. But there was also another thing that in my mind made the Hidden great, and that was how it gave you an opportunity to be the monster. Don't get me wrong, both roles were super fun, and I loved playing them both. But with the Hidden, you could inspire true fear. Now, I was quite alone in my approach, but what I did was I wouldn't just never stop talking as a Hidden. I wouldn't shut up. I would talk to my enemies, lure them out with challenge and taunt, or scare them to committing suicide. I played a lot with the idea of using voice as a form of psychological warfare, and not only was it absurdly effective, but it was really fun, and even my opponents generally enjoyed it. As I continued to play, I got better. And while I did just say that being the Hidden is so great because you can scare the living daylight out of your enemies, the same is true for the soldiers. Because of Pavlov's great audio design, I would regularly be able to 1v2 Hiddens and actually win, without camping, mind you. And while the game definitely intended for the Hidden to be the hunter and for the soldiers to be the hunted, it often didn't work out that way. Because if your aim was true, and your hearing was precise, you can scare the living daylights out of the Hidden just as much, if not more, as the Hidden could scare you. As I continued to play, I realized that the skill ceiling of this mode was seemingly endless. always getting better, never hitting a wall I couldn't climb over. And another thing that made the Hidden so great is that, unlike Deathmatch, which is pretty much just solely a competitive mode, or TTT, which is just a social mode, the Hidden combined both very well. Because of the competitive nature of the Hidden, I never ended up getting bored, and because of the social aspects, I made probably some of the best friends I've ever made in a game, period. In the short months and a half the Hidden existed, I made some seriously good memories, like making a pretty famous YouTuber, Habby147, rage quit on stream while playing the Hidden.
Hello? Hello? Oh my god, get over the ledge. No, it was the ledge! I can't. Oh!
Kill confirmed.
I'm done. 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 Can't. Cut the music. Cut everything. Cut everything. Cut everything. Cut everything. Cut it.
Subject was last reported in this area. Neutralize him.
Or getting 51 kills in a game of Hidden on multiple occasions. P.S. If any viewers manage to get more than 51 kills in a single Hidden game, let me know in the comments down below. And comment how many kills you got. I do want to see how many kills other members of the community managed to get. Now viewers, I'm sure you're a little confused. The title of this video says how the developers ruined the Hidden. Yet, so far, I've had nothing but glowing praise for it. Well, we're about to get into that, but before we do, if you've watched to this point of the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing this video with a friend. Not only does it make the YouTube algorithm more likely to share this video with others, but it also means a lot to me. Seeing the positive comments, the likes, the subscriptions, and watch time go up, it really fills me with the motivation I need to keep making these videos. And before I forget, I also want to thank you all for helping me reach 100 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of people, but it is to me, and I really appreciate it. Now I know what you're thinking, probably, and that's how the Hidden was ruined. Things took a turn for the worse when the Hidden was rebranded to the Hide. A few people on the Discord had complaints that the Hidden is at a disadvantage, and you know what? They are right. The Hidden is at a disadvantage. But anyways, they argued the issue is that the soldiers could camp certain areas effectively, and so the developers decided to balance things out by making things even harder for the Hidden. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, not only can soldiers camp now, they also have the choice to go to an objective site, which when captured makes the Hidden quite visible. As a comment on one of my videos put it, it's called the Hidden, not the Distorted. So yeah, if you capture a few of these, the Hidden is painfully easy to see, and while it may look like a small change, it completely ruins the core gameplay. No longer can you linger, no longer can you stalk your prey, no longer can you choose how long you want to take to kill the soldiers. Now the soldiers rush the objective point, and the Hidden has to rush the same objective, or otherwise you will simply lose all his advantages. The very thing that made the Hidden fun is gone. And as a result of this quite unpopular change, the Hidden, which was once fairly popular, is barely being played anymore, and frankly you'll be lucky to see even 1 or 2 lobbies of it. So that's how the developers ruined the Hidden. But earlier, I mentioned that the Hidden had a few issues to begin with, even if they were somewhat simple. So I'll talk more about those moderate problems with the Hidden now. My first complaint would have to be the character lines, particularly the soldiers. In VR, most people have a mic and can talk effectively and do callouts on their own. They don't need to hear their avatar say stuff, and it gets really annoying too. If one of your guys dies, all the soldiers around it won't shut up, saying stuff like, "They got one," or "We got one down," 57 bloody times, simply because there's a corpse within a 50-mile radius. And this, in turn, makes it much harder to hear actual voices or the Hidden's footsteps. And then there's the voice line that plays when you see the Hidden. Sometimes, if the Hidden is in a soldier's line of sight, and sometimes if it isn't, the soldier will just flat up say, "I see him." In a game all about seeing the invisible guy, it seems like a really dumb decision, to put a feature like that in the game. You'll end up with situations where either your guy will spot the hidden, and that will help you see him while he was otherwise really well hidden, or your guy will spot him, but you don't see diddly squat, so then you just freak out and run. My second moderate issue is the loadout system. It spawns you with a pre-made loadout, most of which are pretty good. But there's one in particular which I just can't get behind, and that's the tranq gun. Now, there is a group out there that is very adamant the tranq gun is just OP and amazing, but I'm here to tell you that they're wrong. I've died to a tranq gun maybe 3 times at most, none of which were solo kills, and it's not just the crap damage and frankly useless perks, it's also just unsatisfying to use. It feels like you're shooting Nerf darts at a bloodthirsty monster. And before some of you pick up your pitchforks, I'm not saying they should be removed. If they don't want to add customizable loadouts, then just buff the secondary. Change it to an Uzi, or heck, add a second Glock. My go-to strategy when I get the tranq gun is to just ask a fellow soldier for his sidearm. And it actually works pretty well. Now, ideally, they would add a loadout system like Contractors VR, bless their soul, where you have a certain amount of credits and you can spend them on guns, attachments, and equipment. Final moderate issue, and it's short. This hallway on Sand Night. Remove it. The devs want to deal with campers, right? Then remove this tunnel. It's the only spot that ever gives me trouble, and it serves zero purpose. Delete it. Now, when I wrote this originally, we didn't have a happy ending. But about 2 months after they added these objectives, they quietly changed it back to how it used to be. I literally only found out when recording the background footage for this video that you see here. I did not expect this because the developers of Pavlov, the main one at least, kinda have a god complex, and whenever he receives criticism, either cries about it, or simply believes he knows all and ignores it. If you want more info on that, watch my negative review of Pavlov. It should be in the top corner right now. But this time was different, and you know what? I'm pretty impressed with the devs for that. Originally, the devs were pretty adamant it was a great change, but I guess they eventually realized that it was way better without it. Now the smaller issues still haven't been addressed, but I can live with that, for at least for the time being. I do still hope they address my concerns at some point though. Once again, I'd like to reiterate just how honestly impressed I am with the devs for listening to the fans and acting in such a way that benefits the player base. This game may have hope after all. So now these horrible objective systems are removed, we can go back to enjoying the hidden. If you are looking for a good hidden map, look no further than DeadPixel's Hidden Warehouse, Hidden Subway, and Hidden Mansion maps. These 3 are amazing maps, and I'll have them linked down below. So this is the end of the video. It was a pretty long one, so if you made it this far, I have your gratitude, and hey, consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to just support the channel. As I said before, every like, every positive comment, and every subscription means a lot to me and fills me with the motivation I need to make more videos. And one last thing before you go. Watch this video here titled, "The Media Thinks VR is Dangerous, and It's Hilarious." I put a lot of time into it, and I personally really like it, but because it deviates from my normal content, it didn't get a lot of views. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll see you all very soon for my review of Zenith VR, the first major VR MMO.
Welcome to the game mode where you shit your